Hey Nat,
This
hey
meeting
Britt,
is being
Hello.
recorded.
Maddie, Natalia. Oh, hey, welcome everybody.
Hello,
How are you? Where are you in the
I'm good.
world?
Hello.
I'm in the world at the mountains, cold mountains
Oh wow, in
in
Bogota.
Colombia. Yeah, near Bogota.
Welcome, welcome.
We have one
We've
other
got-
person in the room in Colombia right now. Also, I'm in
Where
Medellin.
are you, Jamie?
Medellin.
Medellin.
I thought they'd
Yeah,
be
boy.
saying Medellin, but it's Medellin.
Is anyone else in
Everyone,
Colombia?
if everyone could just put where you are in the world in the chat right now, that would be excellent. Let's see where people are calling in from in the chat, just so we can get a sense. We'll get started shortly. I see Medellin, California. I'm with you, Hadi. I'm in Oakland right now. We good. Nice to see folks. Wonderful. So as we're waiting on everyone to join, there should definitely be a few more people joining. Let me copy this. Go ahead and put in the chat where you're calling in from. I'm Asher, that's Zach, in case you don't know us. And we just put into the chat this link for a very quick quiz survey. What we want to be able to do when we meet with you in a week from now or so, throughout this challenge, we want to be able to give you the very best personalized support that we possibly can. So this quiz is like 10 questions, and it helps us figure out just exactly where you're at, in your process in your life, what you're interested in. So just click that link that's in the chat. And at the very end of that, you'll be asked to schedule our next call. It could take place sometime a few days from now, just so we can meet with you again, one-on-one personalized coaching, figuring out what works best for you. So just to be very, very clear, that link that we just put in the chat as you're getting settled, click that link, start to take that a 6-minute quiz form to help us target exactly where we can be most supportive to you. And we're going to let a few more people join just to show you the steps. Step 1, click that link. You'll get this. Then as soon as you're done with it, you'll be sent to a calendar, and then you'll click the calendar, and then you'll get this dashboard. And this dashboard you can just leave on your computer for now. We'll get back to it shortly. More folks come in. Cool. So if you're just joining, make sure to click that link. I'll send it again. And we'll get started in about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Just
Hey,
take
where are
your time.
you? Are you in Cleveland? Where is it sunny like that? Wish I was outside.
Geneva, Ohio. Geneva, Ohio.
Ah, okay, cool. So I got a nice day. Brittany over in Perth.
Yeah, in Collie at
Well,
the moment.
are you in your camping, your tent, or
No, I'm in my car. I had to drive like 10 minutes down the road to get reception because there
good
was no
job?
reception. So yeah,
That's dedication, Britt. Nice work.
yeah. And it's still dark. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So we're giving everyone just a few more minutes to complete that quiz. Link is in the chat, and we will get started shortly. I'll even put on a little timer for us. We'll get started in
Now I can tell. Okay.
4 minutes.
Am I on? Can you guys hear me?
I
No.
can.
You can? Okay, all right. Sorry, I had to figure this out.
That's okay. So in the next 4 minutes or so, make sure you're taking time to complete that form. As soon as you complete the form, book in for a next steps call, and then you'll get your dashboard right here. You also probably received the dashboard in an earlier email, but we'll get to that shortly. In about 3 minutes, we'll begin. Should be expecting a few more folks. If you have any trouble or questions throughout, be sure to chat either Zach or I. Zach will probably be able to respond faster because I have my entire screen being shared with you. So it's hard for me to see the chat. I do kind of want to see people's faces though. Oh, there's Emily's face. Very nice. In a bit, we will ask folks to turn on their camera, be present, be ready fully. We'll want to see your face. We'll want to hear what you're all about. About 2.5 minutes, we'll get started. Just make sure you're completing that quiz, scheduling your next call, and keeping this dashboard open.
Hey, Asher, where's that quiz again?
Where?
the
I'll
chat?
send it to you right now in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I just switched. That's what it should look like though.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Took my timer away, I think. Got about 1 minute left, even though this timer started over. And Zach, if anyone else tries to come in or message, can you go ahead and take care of that once we begin? Cool. About 30 seconds left on that quiz. And then you're going to schedule your next call, where you'll just get either Zach or I one-on-one, our full presence, attention.
The intention behind this, guys, is we want to make sure you get as much support one-on-one and also in group as possible. You experience these amazing group sessions that Asher and I have been perfecting over the last 5 months, 6 months now. And there's a method to the madness. So we're really excited to meet you guys in the group, online, but also mainly one-on-one, to really make sure this is the best, most productive, most efficient week of your whole life. That's the intention. And we have the systems and the structure to really back this up. So really excited to take you guys through this. Welcome. And yeah, if you guys finish that up, get started.
All righty, folks.
And hi,
Zach.
Emily. Hi, Ali. Is that Ali from? I spoke to Ali today. Addie. Yes.
All right.
Cool. See you all.
All right, Zach. If you wouldn't mind sending the form over to Jess that she just entered, and Anthony, go ahead and send it to them. I'm gonna get started. Well, hi, folks. Whether it's morning for you, thank you, Britt, for driving 10 minutes down the road, or it's afternoon or evening. Thank you for joining us for just 1 hour on your Father's Day, depending on where you are, depending if you celebrate Father's Day. But whatever you're doing, just thank you, and say thank you to yourself for joining, taking the time and space to join us here. We're going to talk about getting clear on those whys in your life. We're all, I mean, I don't know. I read the news this morning, and that was kind of a mistake. It's quite a wild, wild world at the moment. And so I personally believe some of the best things we can do is stay clear on our whys internally so we can walk in the greatest alignment and attunement as we interact with this outside world. So we want to talk a little bit about constraint in the beginning. So I want to start. Did you know that in 1954, no one had ever run a 4-minute mile? It was unheard of. And then that year, Roger Bannister shattered the belief. He ran a 1 mile in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. But within 46 days, John Landy beat that impossible record, running a mile in 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Now, those of you who watch the Olympics today know that a sub 4-minute mile can happen all the time. And the concept here is that you take something that's impossible, and once the belief barrier is shattered, others can quickly follow. So the reason why this feels relevant is what we want to ask you is what in your life right now feels impossible. Maybe it's a certain degree of financial freedom. Maybe it's finding the person you've always wanted to find. Maybe it's taking that thing that you love doing and turning it into the thing that supports you. Maybe it's moving across the world. I don't know. But whatever that thing that you're naming as impossible, what barriers are you running up against right now? Feel free to drop in the chat if you have like a quick word. As soon as I ask that question, if you're like, oh, I know, it's called fear, or I know it's called pain or disbelief or whatever it may be. But what barriers are you running up against right now? Feel free to drop it in the chat. As we keep going, what barriers are you waiting for others to break to give you permission to go next? Maybe if someone else does it, it means it's okay for you. And what we're here to introduce is the possibility that what if you could be the one to break your own records and set a new standard for yourself and everyone else? If you could be Bannister, if you could change it now, you're doing a service to the world because then others will follow. But really just take a moment now and just imagine like, what is stopping me? What are those barriers that I'm experiencing right now? Whatever it is that you desire in your life. And just know, wherever you're seated, if you're seated in your car or in that cute swinging chair on a porch, just imagine for one moment, what does it feel like in your body to imagine that you're actually at the right place at the right time? Whether you stumbled on this call by mistake or you jumped on after Zach and I called you a dozen times. Just imagine that for whatever reason, you've arrived at the right place at the right time. So how many people have set a New Year's resolution? Just give me a thumbs up or like a thumbs up on the screen, thumbs up either with your person or like with your reactions on Zoom. And now I'm not going to ask you to divulge this, but how many people completed their New Year's resolutions? You can actually give me a thumbs up if you have. You don't need to give me a thumbs down if you haven't. But a study published relatively recently was that 92% of people fail to achieve their New Year's resolutions. And often that number diminishes, even like that number increases as people who fail to achieve it after you get beyond March. People might say, okay, by February, I'm still doing it. But in general, 92% of people fail to achieve their New Year's resolutions. What we want to do is help you be a part of that 8%. Showing up here is one of those steps. Taking initiative in your life is what makes that 8%. So for our vision is super simple. Today, our vision is very specifically for you to walk away feeling inspired, truly excited, and with 100% clarity on how to build whatever this future is that you desire. And if it's the right fit, at the end, you'll have the life blueprint to guide you, keep you on track, and hold you accountable, at least for the next 3 months. But what we'd like to do, please let me go to the next slide. There we go. Is give you the answer up front, really, really simply. Because this technology is not new. Humans have been walking around with this neurophysiology that we have for at least 10,000 years in somewhat recorded history. And this pattern is not new. Decide to do something, do it, reflect on if it worked or not, or if you need to change it, and then do it again. Decide, do it, reflect, repeat. That's the simplest answer. So if you take nothing else away, just take this. Screenshot it, whatever you want, hang it, tattoo it on your left arm. This is how you build whatever it is you desire. Decide to do something, do it, reflect, repeat it. We have a slightly more nuanced model though. So in the middle of this triangle, we just want to show you in the middle of this triangle is your desired outcome. And I would love to see in the chat just a few of those desired outcomes. This could be to lose 10 pounds, to start earning 15K a month, to like whatever those things are that just feel loud in you. This could just be to live a happy, contented life. And as we dig deeper, we'll find out what that means. But drop in the chat just a few, like what would be in the middle for you? Your desired outcome. I want to see a few in the chat. More income, passive income, yep. Generational wealth. Yeah. Anything else? Keep going. I'd love to see. I see people hearting it, so it looks like we've all come to the right place. We're in agreement. The model we use is essentially a life partner. Hell yeah. So I want to identify in this middle is your desired outcome. What we've discovered in all the work we've done, living with purpose, a fulfilling career, keep it going. What we've discovered is that the primary things that get in people's way is uncertainty. You don't actually know what that looks like. Like in the case of life partner, you might not actually fully know what that set of values is, what exactly what's wanted, what your conditionals are, what you're willing to compromise on, and what you're not. You haven't painted that picture fully. Or maybe in terms of job, you don't know what you're willing to do, or you don't know exactly what the job looks like. So uncertainty, lack of support, and fear are the three things that we found that gets in the way. Give me a thumbs up if I said any of those and you're like, yeah, I'm familiar with those. Uncertainty, lack of support, and fear getting in the way. Fear also looks like procrastination and distraction, just so you know. Like, hey, I'm looking to build income, but today I went fishing for 6 hours, which is fun, great, but it doesn't necessarily help you build that passive income. So what we found is that these three things, uncertainty, lack of support, and fear, that looks like distraction and procrastination, are the things that get in the way of whatever your desired outcome is. And so what we provide to combat that is clarity, community, and proper action, movement. Like, do that thing today. Stop thinking about it. Do that thing today. Because what we found, the only thing that moves you from thought or uncertainty or I'm not sure if I should do it is actually taking action. So that's what we're here to talk about today. This handsome fella next to me, just to introduce you very briefly, this is Zach. Zach is a brilliant, capable, certified health coach. He's helped thousands of people kind of get their health on track. He's got a YouTube channel with over 400 videos and over 15,000 subscribers. And he's just a brilliant strategist. He's a systems level thinker, very, very effective at putting what you desire into a system that breaks it down into parts and allows you to excel. He's generated over $10 million from online businesses, and he's very, very adept at identifying the problem and figuring out the steps to accomplish it. Zach.
Thank you so much. Good to see you guys. What an amazing introduction. And I want to give you guys just a quick 1-minute story on how this all came about. So growing up in my 20s, I spent a lot of money and continue to spend lots of money on my personal growth. And I got to the end of these seminars and workshops, and I felt this sense of confusion, or like, what is my next step? What is something that's most aligned to my purpose on earth? So after spending like over 100 grand on personal development, I decided to create my own document, which is what you guys will be experiencing this week. It's a life blueprint document that allowed me to get focused, organized, and look at big picture, bring it back to this moment. And the idea, the premise behind it is all around, like, no one sat down with me when I was just getting out of high school and said, hey, Zach, what do you want in every area of life? And how are you going to do it? And I'm going to hold you accountable every week, month, year, over the next 10 years, and hold you accountable to your dreams, goals, and purpose. No one said that to me, but I wish they did. My life would be in a completely different area. Who would agree? Put a yes in the chat. If someone sat you down 10 years ago and said, hey, what do you want? And then that person helped strategize with you over the last 10 years, do you think your life would be in a different area, a different space? I'd say yes. And so that's what we are for people now. And this is developed just literally our friendship. Asher and I connected January 5, 2025. And we ran a workshop together through a mutual friend. Asher held this like beautiful reflective piece in 2024. And I shared the goal setting system I'm going to walk through this week. And we just clicked, vibed, and we're like, we have a similar vision. We want to bring people's dreams to life. We want people to be as authentic as possible in that journey. And so here we are, 6 months later, and we've built this incredible community to help anyone, whatever your goals are this week. We're going to help you accelerate it in a way that's purposeful and authentic to you. And you're going to have some breakdowns and some breakthroughs, but at the end of the day, it's going to be not in the way. The challenges that we go through this week are not going to be in the way. They're on the way to whatever you're creating. And it's going to be a big step in that direction. I'm really excited to welcome you into this challenge. Let me introduce you to Asher. He grew up with two parents that were psychologists and neurofeedback clinicians. So he was like literally experimented on from the age of 5 on how to how to control his mind, so to speak. It's kind of like his parents, kind of like the X-Men, and he's the X-Men little child who's got these superpowers now. And he's just the most incredible facilitator. And he's a neurofeedback clinician himself. And I've never seen anyone being able to help someone have a breakthrough in such a short period of time by holding safe spaces. I've seen it in the events in Pueblo in Mexico, seen it online, and so you guys are in for an amazing treat. But really what he's most excited about is helping you step into your most authentic self, whatever that is for you, whether that's messy and painful right now, be honest in that. Whether that's you want us to celebrate you, give you a high five, feel that too. So we welcome all the things here, this community. So without further ado, over to Asha.
You can do a few of these, Zach.
Guys, we all know who here has set a goal and hasn't achieved it, felt a sense of failure, right? We all have. But if we look at all the greats out there, they've set a goal, they've achieved, and they've failed multiple times, and then eventually they were successful. Like Pablo Picasso wasn't successful or famous until after he died, right? Imagine doing your life's work and no one recognized you or validated you after 20,000 artworks. We've got Colonel Sanders pitched his idea 1,009 times. Oprah Winfrey was fired as a news anchor, and obviously is super successful now. The Beatles and Mr. Beast, 455 videos. So wherever you're at, we're just wanting you to lift back up your vision and purpose, get it off the floor, dust it off, get it out of the cupboard, wash it off, and I want you guys to breathe life back into your vision, because the only thing that's in our way is ourselves. And so this is an opportunity to get out of our own way and back to the fast lane.
So here's just a concept, and it's based on a study, statistical based. I think it was 10,000 participants who said it. Most people spend more time planning a vacation than planning their life. I don't know if that resonates with you, but when I heard that, I was like, oh shit, yeah, I think a lot about like where I want to go, what cafe I want to eat in, but how much time do I spend thinking, what do I want this body and this life to look like in 2 weeks from now, in a month from now, in a year from now? So to spend a moment reflecting on, do you spend more time planning your vacations than you do planning your life? So first, what we want to do is we want to have you drop in with each other. One of the primary components of this process is community. But what I want to do before I even put you into breakout rooms, we're going to put you into breakout rooms and we're going to ask you to do 2 steps together. But before we do that, I like that, Allie. What if life is a vacation? Then you spend a lot of time planning your life. Great. I want you to just feel in your body right now, how much are you showing up? Like it might be the morning for you, it might be the evening, but just see if you can sit up a little bit straighter, a little bit more present. Like what if right now, like what if I told you to act like your future depends on it? Because it actually does. Everything could stay the same, and that's fine, but then it would stay the same. And if you want something different, it requires a change. So I invite you just to sit up in your chair a little bit straighter. Imagine that whatever you're doing right now, showing up here, act as if your life depends on it, your future depends on it. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put you into breakout rooms. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to just find 3 things in common with the person next to you, with the person you're sharing the space with. You're going to do that over 1 minute. Then each person is going to have 2 minutes. And I want you to answer the following questions. If the previous year of your life had a title, what would that title be? And what do you want the next year to be titled? So think about your last year was like, give it a title. Think about what you want your next year to be and give it a title. And next, I want you to emerge within your 2-minute share. Why are you here? What's the one thing you want from this challenge? What brought you here? We're going to welcome Redmond in, and I'll make the breakout rooms right there. Cool. So I'm going to pop these questions in the chat. Or actually, Zach, would you mind popping these questions in the chat while I make the breakout rooms? So 5 minutes on the clock. First, find 3 things in common with the person in your room. And next, if the previous year of your life, those 2 questions had a title, what would it be? What's your next year? And why are you here? Any questions? I'm looking at faces just to see if there are any questions. Pretty self-explanatory. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Enjoy. And be honest. If you sit there silently, that works for me too. See you soon.
So hello. Is there anybody there? Oh, we have
I
Asher.
thought it was a little strange you were sitting in here with the recorder.
Is the other person not a person?
That's a recorder. It's not
Okay.
recording in this room,
Okay.
but
Um,
I thought you might want to talk to a human.
so you're jumping in.
Mhm.
All right. Three
What do
things.
we have in common?
We both went to a festival together.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
No. Which festival?
Symbiosis. I think 2016 or
I
15.
I don't think that was me.
That wasn't you?
No, I don't think so.
Because I have you. We're connected on Facebook, but I think it's for friends. And anyway,
We can keep going though. I bet there's more. I bet we
we
like being in festivals.
both like being at festivals. We obviously both want to live our purpose,
Yeah. Sounds nice.
and
How do you feel? How do you like, how do you feel about what is, how do you feel about sunshine? Actually, I'm looking at the sunshine streaming in through the window right now.
yeah, it's pretty nice as long as it's not too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
pretty happy with them.
That's a
And
shared
you?
vision.
You like the sun?
I need to be in the sun pretty much all the time. I like leave when it's cold and I find warmth and yeah.
Right.
I'd
Does
love
that
to
tick?
hear that ticks our boxes.
Okay, great.
And we're here and present.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear about your last year, and we won't have time for mine probably, and that feels okay. I'd
Right.
happily give it another time, but your last year, what if you were to give it a title?
It's, I could give it a sound.
That works.
Like very title, hang on. Wiggly wonkily, shakily okayness.
Sounds like surviving.
There's been an element of that.
Yeah, I hear that. I really, really hear that. My shirt, actually, a student made this for me in 2016. It says, oh, my video, emotions are part of the human experience.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and what do you want your next year to be? If this past year was wiggly wonkly, okayness with some surviving in it.
Stable, joyful, rooted, stable, joyful, and rooted in here-ness.
Sounds nice.
Mm.
And do you have a sense, like, of what's in the way? I know that's not one of the questions.
Yeah, I think it's my conditioning of kind of like, I guess, a scarcity and money at the moment it's been I've had moments of like real direct focus and real growth and success as well in the last year. And then it's still there. Like it's not actually as bad as I'm making it out right now. But then the thing that keeps coming back is needing money each week to pay rent essentially, and the fear coming in and being like, oh, the pressure feeling too much. So then just opting for the easier option. Not necessarily the easier option, but just another option in that time.
Is it the Welcome back. Welcome back. So as you spend time with those folks, let's see, there should be more folks coming back. People will be back in the next few seconds. I would just love for you to post your answer in the chat. Why are you here? You can put it in as few words as you want. The breakout rooms will be totally closed in 1 second. There we go. So right now, just post in the chat. I'd love to see your answers in the chat. Why are you here? I want to see it in the chat. Then I'll share my screen again. Ooh, structure, clarity, vision, excitement, drive, feeling good.
Wait, here we go.
Britt clicked the wrong button. Emily, yeah. Inspiration, motivation. Yeah. You know, I have my screen share on the whole time. And so like I see to think through some structures to keep focused. Yeah, the more people I tell what I do, they're like, oh my God, if anything could keep me accountable, it would be the most powerful thing in the world. I just talk to people and they're like, I would be unstoppable if something could just keep me accountable. So I think you're in the right place. And I actually, now that I'm not showing my screen for a minute, I get to look at your faces just for a moment. Like look at these other faces that are showing up just for this. Inspiration, motivation to think through some structures to drive, like, and just see like in these faces, is there something common? Like, oh wow, we probably share something. We want some action and focus, some movement. We're all just trying to be, like, we're trying really hard to be. Lovely, lovely. Oh, let me make sure I'm sharing the right window. It looks like I'm not still sharing the right one. Let's try again. There we go. Here's some testimonies, but we're going to go on right now. These are a few things that some people have said after working with us for a little while. You can take a moment and read them for a second. We particularly worked with Jess at the right time, and she said, "This is something I really need to do today. Give me a lot of clarity and conviction with what I need to do next." She's on it now. Neuroscience, quite a reputable scientific magazine, published a study in 2018 where they said 70% of people self-report. They admit that they have no clear life direction. And just when I read that, I pause for a minute and be like, wow, what would life direction do? What would the heading be like? And so now we want to ignite yours. So when you think of life direction, the thing I want to emphasize here is it's not just what you do today. It's about giving you a heading, giving you a directive. So if you're a ship, if you're sailing in a ship and you guide your ship based on the next piece of land you see, the chance of landing on the wrong island or the place where you don't want to be increases. But if you use the North Star, if you use something that's anchored and unmoving as your point of reference, then you're always headed in the right direction. So what this process is like, it's about taking a very slow, concentrated time to figure out what that North Star is, and then directing every action you do each year, each month, each week, each day to that same North Star. Now, of course, you can adjust course, but it's not saying this thing happened, so now I'm going to go this way, or this happened, so now I'm going to go this way. So we're just in a small container 1 week. So we're going to parse it down a little bit. So how many areas of life are there? Put in the chat, just like, I mean like categories, aspects of life, parts of your life. Like there could be family or job or career, just like guess how many do you identify in your lives? Put in the chat, just some numbers. There is 7, cool, 8, perfect. We're all in the same. Let me see if you identify with these. We chose 9 when we built the life blueprint. So we use these: the physical health, mental, emotional well-being, your home structure, your financial and career. Not everyone always splits those. We split those. We think they can be different. Your family structure, your relationships, those could also be together. So yeah, anywhere between 7, 9. These are the areas that we choose to focus on. So now's the time I want you to get out a journal. I don't know if we said to you in the email, if you saw that little reference in the email, it said please have a notebook, a pen, or some type of scrap paper. So right now, take 30 seconds if you don't have a pen and paper. I want you to grab a pen and paper. Ideally, this is your journal that you look at all the time, that you cherish, that you love. And if it's not, if what you have right now is one of those legal notepads right next to you, go ahead, use that. Or if you're deep in the backwoods outside of Perth and you're in your car and it's hard to write, try a voice note maybe. Whatever it is to capture this thought would work perfectly. Now, for this purpose, we want you to choose one of those areas. So I can go back to the list or just think to yourself, what is an area that feels really loud in mind right now? I'll tell you, most people I work with, it's in the financial category, career category, relationship category, or health category. Maybe for you, it's in another one. Choose one of those categories. Again, here's the list that we use. Choose one of those. And I want you, I'm just going to put maybe 4 minutes on the clock. And I want you to just brain dump for a moment. What do you really want just in that category that isn't happening? Maybe it's you don't have enough consistent income. Maybe you say you want to lose however many pounds. You say you want to run a 5K and you're not running. But what do you really want in that area that isn't happening? Let me get a timer up for you. This is just to get the juices flowing. So we're just going to do 2 minutes per question. And I challenge you to just write. Pick up your pen and just write. Even if what starts coming out is poetry. Even if what starts coming out is just words. What do you really want that isn't happening? About another minute. And if you feel frozen or you're not writing, see what it's like to just pick up your pen and just keep writing. Even if you start drawing pictures, writing poetry, it works. In this one area, what do you really want that isn't happening? About 20 seconds left. And as you finish up this question, transition into what fears or frustrations are holding you back. And let's not just do holding you back. What fears and frustrations are running right alongside you? Pulling on your coattails, jumping on your feet. What fears and frustrations are right alongside you? And for this question, see if you can get as specific as possible. Like a lot of us want to say, I'm stopped by my conditioning or by my limiting beliefs or by some idea. And I'm not invalidating the presence of limiting beliefs. But when you go to wake up to go on that run and you don't, what stops you? When you're trying to build that business and you know you need to reach out to 30 people, but you don't, what stops you? Get really specific. Last but not least, just something to think about. You can go on to question 3 when you're ready. What would be the greatest support? And we're thinking of it in the context of how could we support you right now? How could we possibly support you in this program? But if something else emerges, what would be that dream support? Is it mentorship? Is it a community? Is someone to give you a set of hard skills? Maybe it's a big injection of cash into your business. There are ways to just ask for money. What support? What would be the biggest support that we could provide right now? Another 15 seconds or so. We'll let this one run out. There we go. Thank you, timer. And now I want to ask you to just put one word in the chat or two. How do you feel after engaging in that reflective process on this call with seeming strangers? Just how does it feel to put out? Excited? Dope. Thank you, Jamie. Anyone else? Refreshed? Vulnerable? Yeah. Present. You know, a lot of what we do is we look in our calls each week, and you'll get to experience it this week, but we get really, really specific because we're really used to saying, this is stopping me, this is stopping me. And we move from the abstract to the actual material. Both are valid. But when you operate in the realm of thought, there's no way out of it. In NLP, they use a physiology map, and they say that that's the area of water. You spin, you stay in thought, and the only way out of water, the only way out is through action. Reflexive. So just share this model again with bolded. What we really look for is we provide clarity, community, action. And so right now, I'm just going to show you very briefly. Let me hit this. Please let me out. So many windows open. There we go. So I'm going to show you very briefly the system that we use. So you can be like, oh, okay, got it, as a structure. So if you were to choose to work with the full life blueprint, and right now, Zach will be sending you an email that will give you the weekly tracker. We'll work with that in just a bit, but this is the full version. So this is the template essentially that we use. And the way we begin, this one's filled out as a demo, but we just want to show you is we begin with your highest values. What is it that you actually want? Because if you don't have a why, then you're simply trying to avoid that which you're most afraid of. If you don't know why you want something, the difference between desiring wealth and just being afraid of being poor is radically different. Because when you are afraid of something, you will do anything just to avoid that fear. Whereas desiring one thing gives you a single direction, a singular heading. The example I always use is like, if we're this mouse in the middle, over here is a cat and over here is cheese. If the cat, we're really good at avoiding the paw. We move around and we just avoid the paw. And there's anything you can do to avoid the paw. I can avoid it today, paw will come, I'll move. But if you go after that cheese, if you develop the desire to go where you want to go, you have one singular direction. And as a byproduct, you actually move away from the cat. But you have to know your why. You have to know your definite aim and what you value. So we start with this. Then we do your 10-year vision. What is it that you desire and why? Who could help support you and how? We distill what you want in 10 years into 1 year and then into 30 days. And so what you're going to look at is kind of an abbreviated version of just the 1 week tracker. Now in ours, whatever you put in your 30-day tracker occupies your week long. So, you know, if you eventually want to be able to run a 5K, then maybe today you need to do some type of physical workout routine every day. And so then we meet every week to focus on these goals, whichever are your biggest ones for that week. And then each week we meet and we reflect on what worked, what didn't. If you remember that pattern in the beginning, decide to do something, do it, reflect, repeat. That's the process. But the point I want to really emphasize here is 10 years is fucking overwhelming to start with something that big. This is done in a 2 to 3 hour foundation call with you in the very beginning, where we sit and we decide, what do I want this body, this experience to feel like in 10 years from now? And if it's wealth, great. If it's a Mercedes, great. If it's living in a home, community home, great. Whatever it is. But we start with the feeling state of what you want in 10 years from now. Then we anchor your daily actions to that. Let me go back. Oops. So we'll get into that a little bit more. But for right now, we want to begin to make this relevant for you and your experience now. So less than 3% of people write down their goals, yet those who do are 30 times more successful than those who don't. So obviously you're here because you have goals. But give me an honest thumbs up right now. Actually, give me a full thumbs up if you write down your goals all the time. If you have a system that you know what you're doing each day. Give me a thumbs down if you've never written down a goal in your life, and give me a thumbs somewhere in the middle if you're like, yeah, I kind of do that. Let me see. Yeah, I see some thumbs in the middle. If your camera's off, I'd love to see your face. Redmond, I see your thumb. Thank you. Thank you. I see Jamie's. Cool. Cool. So it's time to write some down. So now on that same journal entry, I just want you to drop into that space. You're choosing that same one area. And I want you to relax. So you're that same area that you had written about before, that same loud goal in your mind. What is one thing that you want in that one area of your life 10 years from now? And before you conjure it with your mind, I want to invite you to just relax and let your heart guide that. Like, what does it feel like to have whatever it is you want in that area? So if you desire abundant wealth, start with the feeling of what it would feel like to have abundant wealth. Maybe it's contentedness, maybe it's ease, maybe it's lack of stress. If you want a life partner, start with what it would feel like in your body to have that life partner waking up next to you or with you every morning in 10 years from now. And then write down the strongest image that comes to mind about one area of your life. Maybe when you notice that relaxation, it's because you have $100,000 in your bank account. Or maybe it's because you have that life partner and you have affordable house payments. Like whatever that loudest thing is in that one area of your life. Go ahead and write it down. And again, lives are complex things, but this is choosing one area and writing a specific goal. Take 20 seconds and feel free. I'm open for questions. I'm open for like, hey, Asher, that's much harder than you make it sound. You're moving too fast. I'm open. Unmute if you have any questions, concerns. And now we're going to take that one goal that you have, that 10-year goal, what it looks like. And just imagine, this is where the mind gets pretty good at setting steps. You let the heart guide and let the mind carve the path. The heart knows where it wants to go, and the mind is really good at getting you there. So knowing that's where you'll be in 10 years, what needs to happen this year? So if you told me you have $100,000 in your bank account over the next 10 years, then that means at the end of this year, you'd likely have $10,000 reserve untouched in your bank account. Whatever it is in 10 years from now, break it down. What does that goal, achievement towards that goal look like in 1 year from now? What happens this year? Go ahead and write that down. So we've got 10 years. This year, it looks like this. I like watching people think. It's nice. And once you've done that, it's okay if you're lagging a little bit behind. Once you've done that, I bet you can guess where we're going. Knowing that's where you'll be in 1 year, what would it be by the end of this month? So if you told me that you are in a relationship by the end of this year, how many dates do you need to go on this month? Or how do you need to clarify what it is exactly you're looking for? Or how much money do you need to earn this month? What business do you need to start this month? What would move needle forward towards that star this month? And you guessed it. If that's where you're going this month, what would be literally the highest priority? Give you all the space and ease and trajectory and boost and fuel this week. So if you know where you're headed in 10 years, in 1 year you'll do this. This month it'd really help if I got here. Oh man, that means this week I need to. And fill in that blank. And give everyone just one more moment. You can give me a thumbs up if you're all done. Give me a thumbs in the middle if you're like, I need more time. Give me a thumbs down if you're just like, this is triggering as hell and you're not helping me and I'm scared. Thumbs up is you're all done. Thumbs in the middle is I need a little bit more time. Thumbs down is like, oh my God, what's going on? Let's see. I see thumbs in the middle. Cool. I see you, Britt. I see a thumb up. I see a thumb up, Anthony. Thank you. I see a thumb up, Hadi. Cool, cool. I'm happy to work with those thumbs in the middle. And I'm happy to work with the thumbs down. So that thing that you wrote down, that exact thing that you have been talking about, thinking about, that you know about, that's what we're going to help you do this week. So right now, I want you to open your email. Ideally, you have a computer. Natalie, I see you're on a phone. I see a few other people are on a phone. It'll be a little bit harder, and that's okay. Go ahead and open your email, and you'll see your weekly tracker that Zach has shared with you.
Now, if you do not have an email from me from Google Drive, the tracker, please just put your email into the chat. It's just finding it on my end and linking it together is a little bit tricky right now. So if you don't have an email from us, from the email that you're registered with, please just put your email into the chat, or you can send it to me privately. Gracias.
Zach, also, if you're still waiting an email from Zach, it's totally okay. In the meantime, you're opening your email. And I'm going to show you. So you're going to open your email. It's going to look like this once you open your tracker. So I'm going to make sure everyone has a good sense. Now, the first thing to do is right over here, change it from 100% to 50%. So on your own, on the screen here, if you keep it at 100%, it's going to be hard to read it, but right at 50%, we find it's pretty perfect. And again, if you don't have an email yet, just follow along and it'll be self-explanatory as we go. This is your dashboard. We have a very cute video with Zach and I being very much ourselves in Mexico. This will be a link to all the things you need. The Zoom link for the calls throughout the week. There's a Facebook thread for you to chat with each other. When you join the full program, it becomes a WhatsApp thread. There's a 7-day trial guide, your dashboard. All the links you need are on this front page. Down here, though, this is the weekly checklist. So what I want you to do is I want you to take that goal, that big, scary goal that's connected to what you want in 10 years from now. And I want you to put it right up here in the weekly goal number 4 slot. Now we filled in the first few for you. We're going to ask you to attend 3 calls this week, all at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 a.m. in Perth, 8 a.m. in Sydney. Attend 3 calls this week. And the challenge we have for you is to use this tracker for 5 minutes every day. So we've put those in there for you and to attend the call that you scheduled at the beginning. Those are the 3 goals that we're asking of you, a part of the challenge. You don't have the goal space tracker. Zach should be sending it to you soon, Allie. Allie, if you could send your email to Zach privately here or just in the general chat, he'll make sure to give you yours right away. I think he's having a little trouble on his end linking the Google with our CRM. But
I send it to you, Ali. Just check the email drive and then shared with me the folder. Okay. Perfect.
Cool. We'll get that sorted, Allie. So the goal for everyone right now is to enter your 1 primary goal for this week into number 4. And if a second one occurs to you, you've got a 5th slot. Now, what I want to show you is the way this tracker works. Allie, we'll make sure that you have exactly what you need. So the way this tracker works is you have space to record what you need to do each day. It's breaking down whatever your week goal is into what you do each day. Now down here, we have our non-negotiables. Perhaps that's yoga, stretching. Maybe you like to move slow around your coffee. Whatever it is, our invitation is for you to use this tracker, to get intentional about how you use your time. So these are your non-negotiables. You're able to visit the chat to post any wins, obstacles, or questions. And we already put in for you, use this tracker every day to plan your day, your week. Well, not your month, unless you get the full one. Right now, if you have your tracker, make sure you put in your weekly goal here. And if you have a second one that feels really clear, kind of emerged in the middle, go ahead and put that in for goal 4 and 5. Now I want to keep it up right now, and I just want to ask you to unmute if you have any questions concerning the tracker. Now, if you don't have your tracker yet, I know this is probably a little less certain. You'll receive it shortly. But are there any questions about specifically how to use it? If there are, go ahead and unmute and just ask. And if not, that's A-okay.
Can I ask?
Yes, please.
So you've got weekly goal 4, 3, 4, and 5. Where are we to put weekly goal 1 into Monday or into?
So where it says 4 and 5, click that, edit it, change it. Change
So
it to. That's your personal goal.
Oh, okay.
Cool. And then the process simply becomes, if that's my goal for the week, what do I need to do on Monday? For example, we have a lot of people who are talking about starting a business, and we say, okay, who are you reaching out to? Or have you created a standard operating procedure for reaching out to them, or whatever step in the process they are in their business? But they say, I need to establish a mission statement by the end of this week, or I need to establish a pitch. Well, in order to do a pitch, you should have a mission statement. You should have a list, an SOP for how to reach out to people. You should start to reach out to people. So each of those are broken down per week or per day within the week. If your goal is finding a life partner and you need to go on 1 date this week, or you need to perfect your dating profiles, or you need to put yourself in a new yoga class where you can meet the love of your life, maybe that's what goes in your weekly, in the daily goal. Make sense? And I want to just pause and say, this is big work, by the way. This is like not easy to do, but it's about beginning to turn your attention towards that thing that you want and building structure around that which you desire. So just to be very clear to you, our promise to you over the next, our promise to you over the next week specifically is to give you clarity, community, and action. And so what that means is clarity on what you want and what it takes to get there in the container of this week. If you join our whole program, it'll be in the course of a 10-year span. We'll give you a structure that anchors what you want in 10 years to what you do today, and have a strategy and system to actually take those action steps. You said you were going to do this. Did you do it? And last but not least, all of that is held in community. So our promise to you within the container of this next week is that you will get clarity on what you want and what it takes to get there for this specific goal. You will begin to take immediate action as long as you do what you say you will do. And we will be there to hold you accountable. And a community where you get to share your action steps and that supports your results. That is our promise to you over the next week. So just to finish up, I know we're at time. We went over just a little bit. What is the difference between the world's highest achievers and everyone else? It's not that Russell Brunson or any of these people did something, or it's not that they have something that you don't have. It's simply they took action and they remained accountable to themselves over and over again. They took persistent action. You are 95% more likely to achieve your goals when you have an accountability partner. That's why this is such a strong system, is because we're here to hold you accountable. There's this study at Dominican University that's like a lot of the research comes out about productivity, and checking in on your progress every 72 hours increases goal completion by 40%. So surrounding yourself with high achievers increases your rate by 60%. And you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals when you write them down. And that number jumps to 78% when you share it with a friend. So the whole purpose here is we check in every 72 hours. You surround yourself with a community of people who are all working on it, and you write down your goals. We use kind of this three-pronged system to keep you as accountable as possible. So our action steps from here, where we are inviting you to join us on this challenge, is number one, attend 3 group calls this week. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 a.m. Perth, 8 a.m. Sydney the following day. Attend your 3 group calls and your strategy call whenever you scheduled it at the beginning. Number 2, 5 minutes. Spend 5 minutes of your day planning your day. Spend 5 minutes of your day planning your day. And last but not least, probably the most important, is what if for this week you just do your very best? And that might mean taking time for yourself, but it is being intentional about it. What does your very best look like? Do your very, very best. And to that end, we simply want to show you what it could look like to do your very best. I want to make sure everyone can hear it. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it when I click play. Able to hear it or no? That,
I can't hear it. If you click on the share settings, it should be on share
I
settings.
do this every time, and for some reason, it doesn't let me share sound.
Even on the desktop view. Interesting. We can send it on the video.
No luck? Alrighty, folks. We'll go ahead and send you that video. It's a really, really, like, I've watched it probably 15 times, and it's really compelling each and every time. So we thank you for being here. We thank you for your presence, your attention. We're now going to leave the space open for questions, comments. If you don't yet have the tracker, we'll make sure you get it. The key that we want to emphasize is your dashboard. The dashboard, you received it in a previous email, and you got it at the very end of signing in. And make sure you have it right now. Your dashboard is the key to everything. It's your Zoom link for the entire week. It answers all your questions. I'm going to send the link in the chat right now, just in case you didn't have it. But we are now going to open it up for questions. Zach, anything I missed before we open it up fully? I think so. So that link that I sent you right now, that is your dashboard. Once you've scheduled your appointment, you should have access to it. Bookmark your dashboard, keep it there, send it to yourself, send it wherever it needs to go. that will be your friend for the entire week. We expect to see you on the 3 calls coming up this week. Use your tracker for 5 minutes every day. And don't be afraid to reach out to us, whether it's on Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, wherever we connected. Thank you very much for your time and your presence.
So excited to have you guys in the dashboards. There's a button to be added to a Facebook chat. We'd love to connect with you guys and yeah, reach out anytime. We look forward to seeing you on the one-on-one strategy sessions where we'll go through all these little tech issues that some of you are messaging me about. But, yeah, really excited for this week. We'll see you same time tomorrow.
And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, or you just want to sit here and stare at each other, that's lovely too.
Thank you for
I invite
your
this space for
time.
questions. Thank you,
Thank
Natalia.
you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're so lovely. Thank you.
Oh, also, Zach, it turns out me and Red know each other, and we're put in the same group together, and we had no idea that I didn't know that he knew you.
Oh no, what? That's so good.
Yeah, it's crazy actually.
As soon as I came in, I saw Jamie. I'm like, give me Jamie.